Welcome back to the Great Late Reviews series where you listen to the old-time gamer in order to check out how the game you are interested in was received by a random guy on the internet. If that's the case, you won't be disappointed. In this episode I got something that holds a special place in my memories, something that was refreshed not so long ago. Crysis 2 Remastered is the name of a game, developed by Crytek, well-known creators of the CryEngine. The story behind the beginnings of the studio is very interesting in itself. I highly recommend getting to know it. But let's get back to the game itself, that's why you are here after all. Imagine for a moment that you are an ultimate soldier, right in the middle of ruined New York. Your name is Alcatraz, you are one of the Marine survivors, and you get a fight for your life. Good thing that you are equipped with the highest tech nanosuit to aid you in your efforts. The whole city is just one huge war zone. The alien invasion is progressing so rapidly and brutally that human defenders are pushed back and down into the last remnants of shelters. Civilians sick and dying at every corner, street and building. Underground areas converted into the temporary first aid and evacuation points. This looks like the biggest crisis in the human history. The title of the game was never more fitting than in this case. It is an epic storyline that rivals the greatest catastrophic movies. You really feel like you are participating in the last and the greatest battle of all times. But the invaders are not the only threat. You got one hostile faction of your own kind, Cell. Those are kind of a bad guys, but it's not that simple. The story of the game is so well written and constructed that you can understand clearly the intentions of the antagonists. Nothing here is black and white. Well, maybe beside painting on one of the guns, but that's irrelevant. I got too distracted these days. Maybe it is time to start browsing retirement homes offers. Where was I? Ah yes, I remember. The storyline is great, epic and cinematic. It's simply peak action game writing at play here, along with talented scenographers. 6 hours long, I think the playtime is just about right. Unnecessary prolonging of the fun could diminish the overall experience. Speaking of fun, shooting enemies and traversing the city still feels great in the remake, and is a class above most of new games. Of course, I can't remember how it was in the original Crysis 2 years ago, I can only recall a faint feeling of that. I could also play both versions of the game today, but I feel like it would be a waste of time. From what I can tell, it's almost the same game, plus technical improvements, so let's just treat it as such. The nice thing about the gameplay is that you get to do tactical assessment in many situations. You can choose how you approach the obstacles along your way. You can go full in, you can be like a predator from the critically acclaimed movie, or you can avoid enemies altogether sometimes. It is really nice to have those gameplay choices in a linear single-player experience. Objectives are easy to follow and well marked, so anyone can follow them without problem. Oftentimes you are accompanied by your Marine brothers in arms. It feels good, like in old Medal of Honor and Call of Duty titles, but looking and playing way better. To add to that, using your powerful suit you can lift heavy machine guns and wreak havoc while on the move. Enemies would be fools to not fear you. To be honest, the feeling is very similar to the new Doom games, which is fantastic. All of that comes with price, however. Game is hard, but don't get fooled into lowering difficulty level too low. You can only lower it during playthrough, but you cannot set it higher or even back to where it was to start with. This is an outdated solution and has to do something with the achievement system. That was wrong decision to prioritize some arbitrary side feature of a game over gameplay itself. This is not the only disappointing thing here. AI of the enemies have aged poorly. I remember it to be the one of the strong sides of First Far Cry and Crysis. Oh well, not everything ages like a fine wine. Another thing that could use remaster are some of the interaction hitboxes. In some cases you have to be in very specific positions in order to use something or to pick it up. That's annoying and should not be overlooked in the refresh of the game. They missed one more thing as well. After some longer cutscenes there is no save checkpoint, meaning you have to watch unskippable in-game engine cutscene again if you fail a game sequence. This is unacceptable because it takes away from otherwise excellent experience. This is a good moment to talk about the technical aspect of the game. Good thing that cutscenes mentioned seconds ago are really good. You remain in first-person perspective so you can enjoy the spectacle through the eyes of Alcatraz. The quality of those sections is only rivaled by Call of Duty series and maybe Cyberpunk 2077. Despite noticeably lower polygon counts in some places, the game still looks great. Tessellation is doing heavy lifting here. Looking how well it all holds up, I come to realization that modern games are going back in some aspects. But not everyone is so talented like Crytek team. They were pushing the game engineering envelope since early 2000s, so no wonder they mastered smart usage of advanced techniques. The lights and shadows are truly beautiful here. Makes me wanna sing "Country roads, take me home to the place I belong." Excuse me, I still got some Fallout 76 PTSD. Damn you, Todd Howard.
16 times the detail.
What was that? Anyways, don't get baited into turning ray tracing on. Somehow it works fine in Crysis 3 Remastered, but here not so much. You get smacked right in the face by heavy performance hit. Ouch! And the game doesn't even look significantly better. Seriously, the quality of cube maps in the reflections is so high and precision of positioning so good that they are looking better than the ray traced ones. Yeah, sure, ray tracing adds some reflections in the areas that were known before, but it's still not enough. Maybe shadows and ambient occlusion is slightly better, but you would need to look for it in specific places, and trust me, you're gonna want to keep on moving and shooting, so it makes no sense to tank your performance for something you're not even gonna notice. What you can notice on the other hand is the rising temperature in your gaming room. Holy cow, the game maxes out your graphic card like not many others. Left unchecked and unlocked, it's gonna scream, "I have a power!" UI is excellent, everything works like it should and it enhances your feeling of operating as a super soldier with the best technology on the planet. And what enhances it even more is the masterpiece of a soundtrack. Several great composers are responsible for that, including legendary Hans Zimmer. What plays in your headphones or speakers during gameplay and cutscenes fits the game like a silk glove, and stimulates your sense of hearing in the best ways possible. But what the hell happened when it comes to sound effects? They are buggy, they do not always play where they should, and sometimes even the quality of them is questionable. Oh well, you can't have it all, can you? Crysis 2 Remastered is an imperfect game, but still a great one. In fact, this is my favorite in this series. I can recommend it easily for everyone who enjoys gaming and epic movie experiences. The only question is how much is 6 hours of it worth to you? If the price is right, do not hesitate and get it. You won't regret. That's all I've got for you this time around. I will see you in the next epic adventure, that is in another great late review.